She's good.
I don't know. I just felt bad that like you guys weren't going, like didn't get the first circle. I don't know. Okay, I guess I'll go next. So yeah, one thing is funny that we actually all really like each other. We're very friends. We were talking about when we got your email about how like we're so happy to be together because we don't get to see each other a lot. So internships, I will say for Ryder, most of our students are employed or in graduate school or doing some sort of volunteer or service within 6 months of graduation. So what's unique is that each of our colleges, so even though we're a smaller institution, each of our colleges at Ryder, so whether it's Norm Brodsky College of Business or College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, College of Ed and Human Services, and the School of Fine and Performing Arts, each of them has their own career advisor. We also have a career center so that you can have centralized resources and access. But if you have a specific interest, you're going to have a career advisor that's specifically for your major. So helping you get your resume ready and putting those, the interview process, getting ready for that and getting everything all together. We would expect, that our students are going to complete at least one internship, sometimes more than one. Some of our students, the student I mentioned from Middlesex that won our trustee scholarship, she has an internship right now. She started with us in the fall, and she is currently in Washington, D.C. during an internship. So something really exciting that if you're prepared and you're ready to hit the ground running, you start at Ryder in the fall, you go to the career center, get your resume up, kind of network and talk to people, see what's out there. When are those job fairs? I would definitely recommend that you start early. We have the other student who's our trustee scholar, had 3 internship interviews between September and October, and for an internship that doesn't start until July. So, you want to make sure that you're thinking ahead and that you're starting with us and you've got all of that stuff planned so that you can start that interview process and start planning ahead, because the longer you wait, those internship spots can fill up. So you definitely want to start early.
Okay, if I go next. Okay, all right. So for Rutgers, New Brunswick, our Career Services Office recently changed their name from Career Services to Career Exploration and Success, because they're not just a place to go to when you're getting ready to graduate. They're also a place to go to if you're kind of trying to figure out what to do. I know for transfer students, you usually know what you're doing at that, but sometimes, you're looking to make a change from what you were studying at the community college to what you're doing now at the 4-year institution, or you might hit some kind of roadblock where you realize that what you were going for maybe isn't really what you wanted to do, or you find something else that you're a lot more interested in. So, they're basically there to help students find their career and pathway to success, And so in addition, they provide career-related advising, resources, and programs to help students discover their interests, values, and skills, and explore careers and majors, develop skills through internships and experiential opportunities, and pursue their postgraduate goals. But they also, the Career Exploration and Success Office, or CES, I'll call it that for short, builds a relationship with alumni, employers, and graduate schools to optimize internship, job, and career opportunities. But they also create partnerships within the departments here at Rutgers to assist students in developing and articulating any co-curricular experiences that are going to help ensure that they're successful, once they're getting ready to graduate. They do host 2 huge job fairs at the beginning of each semester, which really attracts like hundreds. I mean, literally, they usually have about 600 companies that attend these. And they include internship fairs within those they call them mega job fairs. They also include internship fairs so that you can apply for internships. But you don't have to wait for those fairs in order to, kind of research all of that. They have this huge database called the Rutgers Handshake. And it's like, a platform that lists thousands of jobs and internships for current students, recent grads, and alumni, because our CES office also services alums. So even once you graduate from Rutgers, you can still come back to them. The vast majority of our students are placed, within 6 months of graduation. I think the rate is about 82%, and the median starting salary for Rutgers New Brunswick graduate, is 58,500. And I'll pass it on to Vince now.
Stealing my thunder, Marcy, with the mention of Rutgers handshake. Yeah, so Rutgers Newark definitely uses that platform as well in partnership with all of our regional campuses, both New Brunswick and Camden. And students are introduced to that platform at their orientation, which I think is more important now than ever. At Rutgers Newark, we have a program called SOAR, Student Orientation Advisement and Registration, that is tailored to the entry level of the student, be it first year or transfer. And those students are obviously mandated to download the Rutgers Newark, Rutgers Handshake app rather, at orientation, so that you get a jump start on understanding, what's next for you. And I think our Career Development Center, one of the greatest things that I think I love about them and what they do is that they segment their site and their resources by market, by population, by background, whether you're an international student or a domestic student. Even if you are formerly incarcerated, there's really a learning community for those students as well. There's, and particularly for the purposes of this conversation, there's a specific what we call career communities for transfer students. Because you all will come in, right? And I've heard this time and time again, I'm sure will be echoed by the other transfer representatives in the room, that transfer students automatically assume, right, that they're behind when they start at the four-year institution. That could not be further from the truth. We hate hearing that from our transfer student population, because you all are certainly not behind the eight ball in any aspect of the word. And but you have different needs, right? You have very specific needs. I mean, let's face it, you're 1 foot on campus and you're already 1 foot out the door thinking, well, how long did it take me to complete? How many credits am I going to get so I can, what's the next step, right? And we love that about you. It's probably why we all choose to work with transfer students, because you're already thinking ahead before you even come to us. So that information is geared towards transfer students specifically. What should I be doing, not only in my first semester, but maybe leading up to my first semester? As Jen mentioned, her transfer students are already doing, internships while they're probably figuring out, where their classes are on campus. So they're already thinking ahead. And our Career Development Center that is open to the entire population of Rutgers Newark segments their information, their resources, their virtual hours now, of course, in a post and pre-COVID world, their in-person hours specifically for transfer students. And they do that very well to make sure that the information is relevant to that specific population.
Thank you so much for sharing all this information. It's really reassuring to know that all these resources are available for helping us. And for our last question today, I would like to ask, what are some tips, maybe 1 or 2 tips that you can provide our students that will help them succeed in a four-year university as a transfer student?
Sure, I don't mind starting, as I think that we'll all probably echo one another in this regard. Make connections, I think, is the best thing that you can do, not only with professors, not only with us, not only with the transfer advisors at your schools who have excellent, relationships with each of us individually and with the institution as a whole, but with each other. What's I think great about what I think each of our institutions do is that we understand that, not every student is the right fit for our institution. So we're happy wherever it is that you wind up. If you tell me, well, I hear what you're saying, but I really love what Rider has to offer, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So ask questions, make sure that you understand the transfer credit policies, make sure you ask the difference between whether your transfer credits transfer and whether or not they apply, because those are two sides of the same coin. Whether just because, someone tells you you're transferring 96 credits, understand how they fit into your degree plan and your curriculum, so you can get a full understanding of how long you'll be with that particular institution. And I think, as Jen mentioned, we're not in competition with one another, right? We would all love to have you, but we all first and foremost want you to be happy and find the right fit for you.